Hello, good morning, my fellow misfits, weirdos and freaks. C'est moi, Anika. It's early. Looms, you'll say hello? Looms is here, he just wants to say hello. Yes. He says, hello, balls up everybody. Oh, here you go, son. He likes to stare down the local dogs, you know? Yeah. Looks good, this bit of fur here, look. Anyway, right, first of all, I want to begin today by telling you a little story which happened to my other half last Sunday, which just proves to us, me and my other half, you know, the old ball and chain, that reality ain't what it was cracked up to be at all, right? So anyway, he was walking down the road. It's a long straight road. There is no roads going off it for that stretch. There's a roundabout. You get lots of those in this country, very Illuminati-esque, you know, little roundabouts everywhere, you know, generally with something in the middle. You know, like a giant asshole or something. Anyway, maybe like all these cars are getting sucked in there, hence many people disappear on roundabouts or something, you know. Oh. Anyway. Oh, God. Anyway, so there he is, and he's walking, and this woman comes towards him, mid-40s, jogging, you know, all sweaty and hot and bothered, jogging. And well, that's just the way it goes, you know, people walk past you, you know, you don't really think anything of it, right? He keeps walking. About 2-3 minutes later, that exact same woman jogs past him in exactly the same way. So that is so utterly black cat deja vu, you know, do you remember that Matrix thing where he sees a black cat? That is exactly what happened to him. There was no way she could have gone around or backtracked on the other side of the road to go that way again. And anyway, why would you do that? But it was literally just a glitch in the Matrix, right? And it made me realize, it made me think about something that happened last summer. And it was this: we were walking by the seaside, and there was a couple there in their 60s. They had an Irish wolfhound with them. And they were there, and we said hello, and we passed them, and I said, obviously, hello to their dog, I always do. Then we drove off, and the next day, we were in another place by the beach, but it was a different area, and they were there again with their wolfhound, doing exactly the same thing, i.e. sitting down and having some food out of a box with their dog, and their dog behaved similarly. It was weird. Then a week or so after that, we were driving along after having been to the vegetable shop, and there was a guy, an elderly man, with a tin of cheap beer. It's called Tannen's Super, I think. You know, it's like drinking formaldehyde, that stuff, seriously, you know. Ooh. Anyway, he was there, and he was stood outside this shop called Bargain Booze. Right? Okay, he was there, and he was doing that. Then, on that same day, we had been somewhere else, and we were driving along Morrison's, and guess what? There was a bus stop, and he was there doing exactly the same thing, drinking that same can, and in the same position, looking slightly, and it was like, wow. And then a day later I saw him again doing exactly the same thing in yet another place. Wow. Then, and this might have happened before the man incident or after, I can't remember, but a woman, a jogger, long dark curly hair, pink lycra jogging top and so forth and so on, jogging along on the Hoe, the waterfront. Then we were up on the moors on our way to go for a nice walk, And there she is again, same woman, same outfit, jogging, looking at this, you know, they've got this heart rate monitor type thing, looking at her heart rate monitor, exactly the same as she was doing before. Go figure, people, you know. So I just thought I'd tell you, because if anything proves to me that reality isn't real, then these types of incidents will do that, you know. Right, so then we have synchronicity. You know, there was one thought that came to me in the night I woke up, and it was all about this idea of a breakaway civilization, and it was all about, I was in the movie Planet of the Apes, where all the above ground people, as we know, are slaves to the gorillas and the monkeys, which I think is quite an interesting idea, you know. Anyway, Chimpazilla, you would like that, wouldn't you? You'd get to lord it over all of us. I will have my toenails cut now, thank you. Anyway, and then, you know, there's that bunch of people that sort of live underground and whatnot. And I think there's something like that going on, and that the Illuminati used to be the good guys, but they became, or were taken over. But there's still some good types. You know, you get the owls, the owl Illuminati types, and they're the good guys, versus the serpents Illuminati guys, and they're the bad guys, and blah blah blah. It was a dream I had, you know, and it was in there, and it was like they're here and walking amongst us, and they have all this incredible technology and blah blah blah, and you know, because it did remind me actually of many years ago. I went to visit a friend in London, and she was on her way to a Free Tibet protest. Now I don't protest, I never have. I think it's a complete waste of time, but I went along because that's what she was going to do, and I was going to go to the you know, the British Museum for the duration, but I ended up going with her for some reason. I can't remember why. Anyway, we were there opposite the houses of number 10 Downing Street, you know, and I was there, and everybody was doing their little thing, and Free Tibet, you know, and not that it was particularly free under the rulership or dictatorship of the monks, because it wasn't, by the way, people. I'm not saying China is great either, but the monks weren't all that at all. But that's another story, as Rudyard Kipling once said. I was there, and this man and this woman was older, and the man was like younger, as in his late teens or early 20s, came walking up, and there was something about them that to this day I can't really put into words, but they were just a little bit too flawless. You know, we wear life, don't we? I mean, you can see our passage through this dark veil of tears. It's written all over us, basically. Now, these people were they were flawless. They were just too perfect. There was, and it just, something about it, it was like a kick in my guts. It was like, whoa, that's just all wrong. And I've never forgotten it. It's a long time ago. It's 10 years ago at least. I've never forgotten that. And so when I had that dream about this breakaway civilization that may well exist beyond the boundaries of this plane, this flat earth, or this dimension, or something like that. And some of them are the good guys, and some of them are the bad guys, and the Illuminati are kind of the bad guys, and they were taken over by these creatures from other realms, or jinn involvement, or archons, or whatever. You know, again, the story is far from complete, and we're talking Jigsaw-esque more than anything. And I guess that dream I had was kind of just like a little a little piece of the jigsaw, you know. Anyway, Planet of the Apes, etc., etc. And then these last few weeks, one theme keeps coming up over and over and over again, and that is, the lion shall lay down with the lamb. and a story or a sense or a feeling or images surrounding that, you know, a return to paradise or coming home, reset, which is all about reconciliation of light and dark. It's a little bit like this. A child gets separated from its mother, and it believes that mother left her on purpose, that mother doesn't want her, that she's bad and rotten, and that mother doesn't want her, and mother has left her all alone in the dark. And she starts, well, she's terrified, and then she starts hating herself because she thinks I'm shit, because mother doesn't want me, mother doesn't love me, mother doesn't want me, mother has abandoned me and rejected me, and I'm bad and I'm shit and I hate myself, and so forth and so on. And that is evil. But mother has never abandoned her child. They simply kind of got lost. Something happened to the fall. And mother searches for her lost child, and then mother finds her child. But the child, by that point, is so invested in that belief that mother doesn't want me, and I hate myself, and I'm shit, and I'm worthless, and I'm nothing. And it's become... It's become... Darling. Oh, he just wants to show you his bottom. That's what he thinks of it all. Anyway, hey darling, you think you're okay? He's a very beautiful boy, aren't you? Yes, you are. If you want to come down here, you can come down here, okay? Yes, fuck off, Rottweiler. Anyway, you know, basically, so mother finds the child, and then it's a case of, you know, you left me, I hate you, and I'm not letting you touch me, I'm not letting you embrace me, and I don't want anything to do with you, fuck off. And that is what's been happening within us and all around us, in a sense, you know. And last night I felt guided to watch What Dreams May Come again, very strongly. And you know, toward the end of the film, he goes into hell to retrieve his wife, who is there, not because she was sent there by God, but because she blames herself and because she hates herself, and she's full of self-loathing, unable to forgive herself because she has no clarity or vision. You know, she blames herself for the death of her children, and there's lots of stuff going on there. So he goes into hell to retrieve her, to rescue her, to bring her back out into the light, and she doesn't recognize him, and she doesn't want to know, and she wants to stay in the dark. Oh. And there's so much pain, and there's so much hate and rage and fury. And he says, well, you know, if you won't come out into the light with me, then I will stay here in the dark with you. The ultimate sacrifice. And that is what mother does for her child, for her lost child, when she finds her lost child, because her lost child is so full of rage and is so entrenched in the belief that she was not wanted and that she was abandoned because she was no good, that she's simply not as yet able or willing to forgive and to let go and to realize that, oh, but that was all a mistake. That didn't happen on purpose. It was, and oh, everything is okay. See, so mother says, well, if you want to stay in the dark, then I will stay here with you. So when it comes to our own shadow being, the darkest parts or aspects, as it were, of ourselves, the mother within us also says, I will stay with you for as long as it takes. That is the ultimate sacrifice that love can make, and therein lies redemption, freedom and liberation and reset. This is happening within us, or it can if we wanted to, and this is also happening in the world around us. I am noticing more and more and more high strangeness, as coined by Linda Moulton Howe, a good researcher, though a little bit, whatever, that's not to me to say actually, so I won't. A good researcher. this world isn't real. It's not real at all. It's not real even in the mundane sense that we have been told a pack of lies about the nature of realities, and even in that mundane sense it isn't real. But I don't even believe it's real at all, and that we're not really here, that this is a quest, and that victory, triumph is assured one way or another, sooner or later, not the same and at the same time for everybody either, and that's okay. I'm good with that, you know. The lion shall lay down with the lamb, because, you know, paradise, or, you know, the world as it was before the fall, we don't kill to eat. Animals don't kill each other to eat. We don't need to chop wood for fire. Which is again killing really. We exist in a very different frequency, in a very different way, and it is pure bliss. Truly, it is. Anyway. That's hard to imagine, I know, because we've been here and we've had to do what we've had to do to survive, but it's all a lie. It isn't true. It's a misunderstanding. We're not blamed, and we are loved, and we are intrinsically valuable, and wherever you find yourself at, whatever you feel or believe or think, well, that's okay, because that's where you're at. And as long as you are willing to be fluid and to keep learning, you're always going to be well, you see. And that is the way I see it, you know. A quote for today, because I thought it was just ever so good. It says, to argue with a person who has renounced the use of reason is like administering medicine to the dead. That's just so true, because, you know, when you come across these people that are busy chomping down their McDonald's and obeying the law, it's absolutely pointless trying to convince them of anything. And so, you know, don't bother. Leave them to it. Most likely they're OPs. They're just part of the fabric of the matrix, and they're neither here nor there. And so just leave them to it. You know, learn what you can from everything you encounter. But do not feel that you have to convince anybody of anything at all, you know, because we're not here to do that. Right. I promised to do a tarot card reading, so I sat down and I focused, and I got some cards. So here goes. So this is what's this deck called again? What's it called, darling? I'll just go and check. I'll be back. Yes. Tarot. It's called the Chrysalis Tarot, and I like it. It resonates with me quite a bit. So this is the Eight of Mirrors. It's a druid, a sage, which is what we all are. Us misfits and weirdos, we are the sages, aren't we? We're not the people that obey the law and do as we're told and are good, tiny little citizens and... No. We are the people that question. We are the people that like to see what lies behind the scenes and whatnot. And invariably, society thinks of us as the freaks and the weirdos. I'm perfectly good with that. You know, I think that is brilliant. So this is us. This symbolizes all of us. Now, you see the path and you see all the mirrors. Now, the mirrors are the symbols for all those programs and all those beliefs. You know, oh, it's all real and I'm really here, and yeah, the earth is round. Yeah, it's round, and all these poor Australian people keep falling off it and, you know, floating about in space, screaming, oh, it's Crocodile Dundee, ah! Whatever. You know, the mirrors also symbolize our own inner shadow that needs to be retrieved, as I spoke of earlier. And then we have the 9 of spirals, which is exactly what we've all just been through. Well, maybe some of you haven't experienced it, I don't know. We're all different. But from what I've been through and what I've seen and witnessed other people going through and the energies that I have felt and my friends, etc., it's been intense. It's been really intense. But it's been necessary because it shakes everything up. It shines the light on what is what. The high strangeness is up. The synchronicity is up. And we just know beyond the shadow of a doubt that nothing is what we thought it was, and that is good. And then, hey, we're looking at our own inner demons. That is bloody hard going, isn't it, people? But hey, it's good. I always say this, don't I? It feels like shit, but it is good. Very good. And so that wind has been blowing very, very strong. And, you know, I feel a little lighter today. I do. Which is good. And here we go, the 4 of spirals, which is like the 4 of swords. A time of resting, you know, rest, recuperation, self-nurturing and nourishment, you know, doing things for ourselves that we like. So I'm going to try and do some art today, because I haven't really done much at all this year. So I'm going to try and, you know, do that, stick a bit of music on, do some arts. Yes, a time of, okay guys, let's chill out for a bit and take it easy, you know, and perhaps everything will sort of ease off a little bit. Yet synchronicity is up. The green man, alright? The green man is all the signs and all the symbols and all the metaphoricalness that is this place. It speaks to us all the time. And, you know, it speaks to our intuition. It's like the divine masculine speaking to the divine feminine and them having a good conversation. So listen, pay attention to your dreams, to the things you see and hear and feel, because all of that is very pertinent. Obviously always has been, but more so now than ever before. The acrobat, it's exactly that. It's saying be agile of mind, be agile of feeling. Focus on agility of consciousness, as in clear flow, as in, wow, yes, what am I feeling? What is happening? Ooh, you know, that's really what it's all about, agility. Because, see, isn't that a lovely card? I love foxes, you know. Really are beautiful, beautiful animals. We're still shedding, we're still purging, we're still harmonizing, we're still composting, it's still going on. It's not the end yet, not at all, you know. It will all be alright in the end, and if it's not alright, then it's not the end yet. But it's also ultraviolet. Protection is with us always. The Ace of Mirrors. The ultimate goal is returning home, reset. What do you think this is, the Ace of Mirrors? For me, it means, remember the identity and the elephant in the living room video I did? Well, I think that's really what it's all about. I think we, you, are the missing piece of the jigsaw. We are the key to unlock the mystery of this experience and return home and achieve reset. Okay, and I'm not going to go any further into that, because I don't think I need to, because I think I want you to work that out for yourself if you want to or not. This is Pan in his beautiful magical garden, and that is home. It's paradise, it's beauty, it's the reconciliation of dark and light, of mother and child. It is reset. I think it's getting closer and closer and closer. And I think that's a wonderful thing, and I can feel it in my bones. And I feel optimistic. I do. So I'm going to stick some music on, and I'm going to do some art. And I wish all of you, wherever you are today, whatever you are up to, lots of love and blessings and well-being. You know, yeah, look after yourselves. Look after yourselves, you know, love yourselves in whichever way you feel you want to love yourself today, you know. Toodaloo.